We work with a whole lot of brands, between e-commerce to tech to streaming services to space exploration companies, you name it. We've had our hand in it at this point. And we provide customer support teams that are flexible, scalable, at high quality. We're built to grow with businesses as a customer support provider.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Xavier, thanks for joining us today on Business Ninjas. We're excited to have you here on the show. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Excited to be here.
Right on. Let's knock out all the basics first. So why don't you give your full name, your role in the company, the name of the company, and the website where folks can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name's Xavier Rentz. I am the sales manager over here at Influx. Our company is Influx Inc., and you can find us at influx.com.
Right on. All right. And where are you guys based?
The headquarters is actually in Melbourne, Australia, but all of the sales and marketing team now is in most of the sales and marketing team is in the US. We have clients spread all throughout the globe, but and employees spread all throughout the globe as well. Headquarters in Melbourne, a lot of the office here in the US.
Great. Okay. And I mean, hopefully you're getting good quarterly trips back to the mothership. That sounds
One day.
Yeah. Why don't you give us a little bit of a career arc that brought you to the present opportunity? What's that been like?
Yeah, sure. My career's been, to get to this point has been kind of a journey. I actually started in professional baseball, originally as a play-by-play broadcaster in the minor leagues, but eventually got into sales for a number of minor league baseball teams and made it up to the Oakland A's. That was how I ended up out here in the Bay Area. That's right.
Oh, A's.
And I was working in membership services and sales for the Oakland A's. So really started to dive into customer support, customer service, and had some good experience there. And, I was working in baseball for 6 or 7 years. After that amount of time, I'd been on a lot of fields. I'd met a lot of players, had a great time in baseball, but was looking for a new challenge. Found Influx through LinkedIn, really liked the international aspect of it. I've always loved to travel internationally and working in baseball, you meet a lot of international baseball players. And I thought that part was really cool, working with agents from all different parts of the globe. And then just paired with my previous experience in customer support, it seemed like a good fit. Hopped on a few interview calls, really liked the team. And so I've been here now myself about 14, 15 months.
Great. Okay. Right on. And thank you for the service for the A's. East Bay boy, so it's part of my heritage.
Right on.
And why don't you let us know sort of the elevator pitch for the company? How do you position yourselves in the market?
Yeah, absolutely. So the short version, we're a flexible, high-performance customer support provider. To dive a little further into, we work with a whole lot of brands, between e-commerce to tech to streaming services to space exploration companies, you name it. We've had our hand in it at this point. Wow. And we provide customer support teams that are flexible, scalable, at high quality. We're built to grow with businesses as a customer support provider.
Okay, interesting. And was that the original vision for the company, or what's the kind of migration of the company been from inception to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So our founders, Lenny and Mikey, they started the company back in 2013, and both of them are entrepreneurs by nature and have experience working in the tech industry. And both of them had started companies, experienced a good amount of growth, but then found their growth stunted when the more they grew, the more customer support tickets they had to answer. And at the time, there were business process outsourcing companies that could provide customer support agents, but they were pretty large operations where they'd lock you into a multi-year contract with a set number of agents. There really wasn't anything at the time flexible, scalable for a small business that's growing. So they experienced the need for that firsthand and then decided to come up with a solution themselves, and Influx was born. So we're built to help companies scale. We certainly do work with big brands as well, but really we find a sweet spot with the entrepreneurs, the up and coming small businesses that are scaling rapidly and want to continue to be able to grow, focus time in sales and product development, not have to focus time so much in customer support. And that's where we step in.
Interesting. Okay. And so if you think of like I don't know, the funding levels of the tech journey, is that like a sort of a series A, series B sort of inflection point where they get just big enough that that's when you step in? Or what's the sort of the arc of a career, or not a career, but a company's growth where you adjust it?
Yeah, certainly around Series A, Series B. We'll work with companies pre-launch. We've worked with companies like Oracle and Adobe that have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Large entities, right? So certainly we can work with anybody, but typically we're looking at office sizes between 20 to 200 people at the operation. So just starting to grow. Some of our partners will be the first people to ever handle customer support for them outside of the founder. And then other clients will use us as a supplement to their internal team.
Interesting. Okay. And how do you guys separate yourselves out from the other providers that are out there? What differentiating features are you bringing to bear?
Yeah. Well, first, it's our quality. Our performance numbers will speak for themselves. We have a 96.7% customer satisfaction score annually from this last year. So quite strong there. We're a fully managed operation, which really is what helps to drive those numbers. We don't just provide agents, we provide a management quality assurance piece on the back end. The managers are there to provide support to the agents, reviewing their responses. They're setting weekly check-in calls with the clients to review how we're doing and identify any areas for improvement as needed. So we have that quality assurance piece. We're also a completely remote work from home operation, which allows us to attract talent from a larger geographical area, not a single town with a call center in it. Right. So we can get really strong talent, people who want that work-life flexibility of being able to work from home. So that's one part, the quality. And then on the other hand, we're also built to be flexible and scalable. As I mentioned before, those old school business process outsourcing companies, multi-year contract, set number of agents. We actually operate month to month. So each month you can decide how many customer support agents you need, what level of support, what channels are we covering, what hours are we covering, and then we'll build the solution for you each month. So it's a really strong offering for companies that are scaling, also companies that have seasonality in the business. Like a lot of e-commerce companies will be really busy in October, November, December, and then scale down once you get into early spring. So we offer that flexibility. And then lastly, just to tie it off, we do a really strong job at putting together custom solutions. So we understand, customer support is not a one size fits all. Every interaction we have with a new potential client can be different. Their support operations different. So we'll work internally to craft custom solutions, whether it be languages, coverage hours, types of support queries that are coming through in order to fit any potential client.
Wow. Okay. You guys have to be very nimble to be able to pull that off on a month-to-month basis. That's impressive. And it sounds like with that remote ethos built in, you were pretty well positioned for the COVID era. What was that like during a time when a lot of the customers maybe hadn't necessarily thought that way about their businesses, and here you are kind of already out in front of the pack. So what was navigating through that experience like?
Absolutely. The COVID year, 2 years from 2020 through 2021 was very strong for Influx. You saw the complete boom of e-commerce. Suddenly, with everybody stuck inside, anybody can start an e-commerce business from their parents' garage, whether they're selling supplements or they're selling hand-sewn mittens, you name it, right? Tons of these e-commerce companies are popping up and they needed customer support. And you Google us, customer support outsourcing, influx.com, you'll find us right at the top of the list. So we had tons of meetings booked, brought on a bunch of new clients, thankfully, due to that e-commerce boom during COVID.
Wow, that's a great tailwind to have behind you. And what's the rest of the year look like now that you've got that base behind you? Is the e-commerce boom still continuing on, or are other sectors starting to show as promising candidates?
Yeah, this year we're working on a few different things. One is languages. So we currently offer English across the world. We'll also offer Spanish and French and Brazilian Portuguese.
Wow.
But we want to continue to expand our language offerings to have people, so we can do 24/7 in all languages, as well as start getting German is on the roadmap.
Wow.
To start having some German speaking agents. We get a good number of interested leads wanting German, maybe Dutch next on the docket after that. And then also we focused primarily on the company up to until maybe about a year or so ago on the back end of sales and customer support. Well, now we're going to start offering, or we have been offering for the last year, and we're continuing to refine sales agents. So the front end of customer support, people to generate interest from your end customers, to cold calls, cold emails, following up with warm leads, even driving all the way to closing. So that's something we're developing, continuing to iterate on, is offering out sales agents in addition to the customer support agents.
Wow. Okay. So you guys are expanding in a big way. It's going to be an interesting year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What's that outreach strategy to let people know what you're up to on that front? You got a lot of moving parts, so I'm guessing you're active on social media, and, where can folks find you out there?
Yeah, LinkedIn would be the best place. If you search Influx, will be the top option there. We have a cool orange circle logo you'll notice us. We also have an Instagram page, and then our website is really the best spot to get in touch with us, influx.com. Click on our Get a Quote form, and more likely than not, you'll be speaking with me within a day.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks again for stopping by. We've learned a ton, and it's going to be great to see where you go throughout the rest of the year. You have a lot on your plate.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate the time.
You bet.